Okay, greens. Thanks for joining us. Okay, I'm in West Palm Beach. I think so. Yeah, something around those lines. I'm not sure if we're going to do any video out here this time around, but see how my energy is. It's been kind of a long trip. I got other things going on. But we'll see. I'll be back out here again. I did drive by the Trump Mars. How's it called that? Mar-a-Largo. They're doing a lot of work on the bridge around it. Yeah, it's kind of, yeah, but it's probably high end, that's for sure. I mean, his energy there seems pretty decent overall. Of course, you have all his rich houses around it, and some of them are a little bit, yeah, kind of disconnected from reality, basically. So, well, in their own world, I guess it all depends on who it is now. Let's see. Yeah, one of these days I don't think I have time to do anything. But anyway. All right, so today is this one's gonna be all over the place. Not a bad thing. So I've picked up on Orion and robot beings, like large ones. That was different on the way here. So you have a karmic court, generation of angels, Anunnaki worlds, Orion, rewriting history. I guess I should change that to rewriting. All right, so my schedule is not open today because of the travel. It's not that open this weekend because of the travel, but it's good to book ahead. Let's put it that way. So, but next week is a better week for anything. So, all right. This is going to be a bizarre one, that's for sure. All right, connect with spirits, and we'll go on from there. Okay, all right, blessings. Greetings from spirits, and also the Orion Council, the Comic Court. It is, yes, the Comic. Well, that's more of an alien invention or a universe invention, mainly connected to your world. Well, your world goes through so much. Karma is just more active, as you can see. Well, because you're not aware of your guides and what's going around, so you get tested more than other worlds. Other worlds just know better, depending on the planet, of course, depending on the beings, as obviously many of you know, such as like insectoid beings that are causing difficulties on your Earth. They can get karma, yes. It all depends on the contracts, is if they're contracted to do those things. And people are warning from what they have done, or the beings have warned from what they have done. The karma is not so dense, but yes, can be quite complicated. So as you go into a 5D reality, it's much of this become more aware of why the world is the way it is, why there's so much conflict here. Some do things to cause karma so they can learn from it, so you can have connection, especially in relationship energies. So many are trying to clear out their karma. By doing so, just living your life as you are doing, is doing things, accomplishing things. And if you feel like, it might be just mundane little things, as you might call it, but it really it's just living life basically is actually clearing out karmic core, is making, well, because you are dealing with the situation at hand. the best of your ability. And if you're going out causing more trouble, or as long as you're not doing that, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how many actually do cause more, become, because they're not getting their way, so they cause more ruckus around people. So we're just putting that out there, and they might not be aware that they're doing it either. Let's see. Yeah, it's just basically find peace with oneself, which obviously is not as easy as it sounds. And your planet, yes, creates a lot of hurdles for itself. Well, it goes deeper into the soul than other planets. Other worlds can see the soul clearly. Yours cannot. We actually go deeper, deeper, and deeper, as many of you have noticed. But there are other beings here to comment on this, so blessings. Greetings to you. We are the Orions. For karma is, yes, it depends on the person, what they feel like they owe to others. And many do choose even genders they do not even want anything to do with, because you learn a lot through karma. It's another form of warning. You can do good, but also you do bad. And some do bad to, see how far their soul will go. And to heal this, so some do like horrible, horrific things in the universe. Obviously, the only way to redeem it is to do good. Yes, the soul might go through torturous lifetimes, but that's also the soul agree upon it. Some souls don't want to be tortured. They want to do harm, and that's it. And some of them eventually do find a soul exit, depending. But there's only so long they can go, because they create so many enemies, and they're not trying to redeem themselves, not trying to heal others, just doing it for selfish reasons. It becomes very difficult for them to incarnate, or even not even being allowed to incarnate anymore on certain worlds, because they're just there to cause anguish and not here to heal. It all depends on the situation. But some souls, yes, they can bring a lot of teachings for a planet, but they're not wanting to learn for themselves. And it's, yes, a generation of angels. Yes, we will have the angelic beings to go through that vibration. Greetings to you. We are the Angel Collective. There are, yes, those that want to be service to others. Of course, there's different groups of angelic beings, but many of us do start in the third dimension realms. And many of us do have realities where, yes, we're wearing white and we have our wings and we're very third dimensional. It's a surreal sight, actually, to see angel beings in the third dimension. There's truly nothing like it, to be honest with you. So as you unlock your planet, some of you will realize their angelic selves, because having a third dimensional existence is key. And yes, some angels get taught to be, or yes, to show a darkness of themselves, but also to bring enlightenment. It all depends on the angelic being. To learn how humans are, or those species that they're assisting. Yes, many angels come from Pleiades, some from the Arcturians, Andromedans, as just we have a lot to learn for ourselves. But there are angelic worlds. The generations of angels can go through many lifespan among many families. Even a lot of your elitist families, those can, as some of you call controller Illuminati families. Be surprised how many of those can be very angelic. Maybe not always the most positive way, but they have abilities that are seen much differently than what you are used to. It's like, for some angels, it's challenging for them to do, see what darkness they can bring in, and then bring in the light. So some are forced to do darkness too at times. That's why you grow up into an Illuminati family, because they force your hand. But it's up to you to make, because you're up to you did all these terrible things. Do you want to continue to that and be wealthy, or you want to just start doing good things? So you really test the moral compass of a soul. Yes, it's hell on earth, basically. Yes, they have jets and they have all this power, but yeah, their souls can truly, on a level that is not seen by many. Some of you have seen that. Yeah, it's a moral dilemma. You have all this power, and it's what are you going to do with it? And yes, it's a knife also that comes through the soul. As souls do split, they can, where there's a good side and there's a dark side. Yeah, it's like the light side is not getting through the dark side, so the soul can't split apart. Yes, it's very strange. Yes, not your average dinner conversation. Brings you Anunnaki. Our themes of our planets. Some are, yes, for looks. Some are for technology. Uh, and some are for or for genetic test of genetics, testing on all kinds of things, of course. Usually those are done on moons for genetic testing, because the genetic testing can cause a lot of difficulty for the planet itself. Because you do genetics on a being, the planet itself can truly feel it. Of course, the moon's a little bit more balanced. It all depends, of course. As you change a being's DNA, you end up changing the world's DNA also. But it can be kind of cataclysmic, as long as you know what you're doing. Yes, that's a little bit out there for some, but it does exist. It depends on what, even a third dimensional being. Obviously, in your reality, it's very difficult for this to occur, but an Anunnaki being can be third dimensional, but fourth dimensional knowledge, and you can call in. Obviously, in this reality, it's difficult to do so. But you can actually, I wouldn't call it capture a fourth dimensional or fifth dimensional being, and actually bring it into the third dimension and do work on it. Of course, that's a little bit out there. It does happen. Um, it's just a realm that is not something that is known here, of course. Um, it's seeing other realities. As some of you have seen reptilian beings, but you just can't grasp it. Because some of you actually have the ability to bring these beings into your reality. Doesn't mean you're doing genetic testing on it, but some probably are actually. Well, some of you are wondering why you have alien experiences, because some of these beings are first off allowing them to be seen, but your frequency is tapping into them for them to appear. So it is a mutual connection, and sometimes, yes, it's an odd love affair. Like you could be in a regular realm, like a third dimensional world, and call in a relationship from the sixth dimension. And it's usually a high vibrational being. Of course, they might appear in the third dimension. It's like, wonder why certain people end up in your life. So you'd be surprised how powerful humans are here. Of course, it has to be an agreement, though. It can't just happen automatically. So it's quite, yes, unnatural, you would say, on your reality. But you have to look at it from a third dimensional perspective. Of course, you're healing third dimension, but that's not for us to go into details. Actually, Orion's want to come back again because they are not finished with you. brings you. Yeah, that's the Orion Council. Yes, well, alien energies are known to just to rewrite history, especially on your planet. Some of it is Anunnaki, of course, as they come up with your genesis and different realities that you're fitting into yourself to. Well, it's words have a lot to do with how you look. Words, colors, it all has to do with how the human exists. It's like, would you be better off with this information or better without it? Obviously, maybe we want the alien energy to come back in, but one of the reasons for alien energies not to re-enter fully yet is it's like a tidal wave of information that can overload the body. Of course, many disagree with it, but it can be, it's like connecting to a supercomputer right away. Even the earth itself has to adjust its vibrations. So rewriting history, the history you have today is formed for the human to be what it is today. Yes, it might not be 100% accurate, but then when does ever that matters? As you know, there's multiple realities, but basically their history is designed for the modern human to learn what it needs to learn in that environment. It's like this is the history for this version of human. And then as you go forward, you'll unlock more history, and you'll basically, it's helping you go into more of a higher vibrations because you're unlocking your history energy. Of course, those in the third dimension are going by because that's what they need. It's kind of like training wheels, if you want to look at it that way, for this reality. But some of you obviously are seeing other multiple realities constantly. It's making things very confusing. Well, that's why you have books with history written in it, because as you're going through all these different dimensions of realities, obviously it's more fourth dimension, it's more fifth dimension, and many beings don't want you at that level just yet. At least the rest of the world is not ready for it. So you can say human consciousness had a lot to do with this, but the alien vibrations have a lot to do with it also. Such as your NASA, of course. Much of those histories are not correct. Obviously, there is much more. Yes, obviously they have more to their story than they're letting on. Because just like a history book, and it's broadcasted through internets and all that television, it truly shapes the modern world, as you know. But as you question it, more fourth dimension, fifth dimension unlocks here. You're unlocking your reality, basically. So history is a mirage. Nothing new to many of you, but as you question more of the history that's brought to you, obviously it's not going to be the most popular among those that are educated in this world, but as you question more all reality, the more of the physical energy begins to release. It begins to break down. So as more humans allow that to occur, more we'll have a lot of your alien knowledge is, yes, very accurate. That's going, obviously much has been kept back. Roswell went to more deeper connections. I believe a lot of Greys in some form brought alien beings to their star system, brought humans there for various reasons, not to be worshipped. I don't believe they did that. Even as astronauts there from your planet. Obviously, proving that in the third dimension is going to be very difficult, but once again, it's questioning your reality. It's what you see NASA. What is your vibe? What's going? Is it manipulation? It is not telling you the full story. Along with the rest of your government entities, you're here to unlock all of them with your own energy fields. And see it from because some of you have seen NASA on other worlds before you came here. So, for example, Even some of your museums, you've seen projections of them on other planets as being taught in your world school. And alien beings are, yes, taught alternative histories to your planet. Well, there's the human version, and then there's the alien version. At least from that species. Every species has their own version. Of course, well, because they were there. They were seeing from their perspective. So, as you go more into 5D realities, yes, your history books are going to be alternative books, alternative history books that become more part of your age, your era that you're in. As once again, it shows 5D energies are tapping more into the third dimension vibrations, healing the denseness of the earth. A lot of the denseness of the vibrations here also has a lot to do with the dinosaurs and the pyramids, because the dinosaur beings obviously not lived fully. They're still here. A lot of them are in their oceans. A lot of them are just disappeared for various reasons, but it does not mean they are gone. And some of you feel very connected to vibration. It is basically, the engineering of physical form, taking it to different levels. A species that's engineered similar to the human, meaning that those are engineering like yourselves. Nobody really knows the outcome of where it's going to occur. So rewriting history, yes, is there to close society, but now you're here to open it. Us as Orion beings, well, we're not the only ones involved with that. Some beings get scared of how humans are going to evolve. The chimpanzees are a little bit worried about Earth. Well, they've seen this much of this happen on their world. It's just, yes, the monkey realities, which are many, that humans still might have troubles tapping into for belief system reasons. A lot of your Venus had gorilla type of beings. All human forms usually connect to the ape in some form or another. Of course, the feline also, the canine also, and so forth. But with the ape is still very an ancestor, as you're healing their race. Because yes, humans here are very difficult. The apes can be even worse. Some of you might be able to tap into those vibrations.